Peace, Noble.
Mari, what's up, brother? You have the floor first. What are your thoughts on what Tyler Perry had to say?
I think he's being a astute businessman. He understands his audience, and his audience is who he's been pandering to since he started putting on a dress and a wig and acting like he was Big Mama. And that is the black woman. And the average black woman, not all black women, not every black woman, but the average black woman in this country is a white supremacist. Now, she doesn't know she's a white supremacist, but she is. And the reason that she's a white supremacist is because she believes the black man is inferior to the white man. She believes the black man is inferior to her. And she believes this without any data whatsoever, right? So when we look at the data, then it tells us that the black man is not financially inferior to the black woman. We out earn you, ladies. You guys do have more degrees than us. Do you know how much? Do you think you have double the amount of degrees of a black man? Is that what you think? You have 5% more. So if you put 100 black men in a room and 100 black women in a room, then 19 of the black men are going to have bachelor's degrees or higher, and 24 of the black women are going to have bachelor's degrees or higher. And guess what? If you get paychecks for each one of them over the last 30 days, we still out earn you. We out earn you because the majority of us are, well, 45% of us are skilled trade workers. And the 45% of us that are skilled trade workers, a lot of them make over $60,000 a year. 65% of black men are in the middle class or higher. 10% of us earn over six figures, and black people make up 8% of the millionaires in this country. So this idea that you out earn black men is a fallacy. It has no statistical basis in reality. And I challenge any woman to post a single shred of data that supports that black women out earn black men. A single shred of data that supports the idea that the average black woman out earns the average black man. But Tyler Perry has to say some bullshit like that. And the reason he does is because the people who are watching him dress up as a woman are not black men. They're black women and LGBTQIA black people. That's who's watching them. Men who dress up in dresses and women. That's who's watching them. That's who his shows are for. That's who his content is for. That's who his media is for. So he's going to say what you ladies want to hear. I was talking on a panel the other day, and I asked the women what percentage of black men they thought were in jail in America. The lowest number I heard was 20%. The highest number I heard was 80%. There are 41 million black people in America. 19 million of them are men. There's only 2.1 million prisoners in state and federal in the United States of America. 10% of those are women. That leaves 1.9 million. If every single person in jail that was a man was a black man, it still wouldn't be 10% of black men. The 1.9%, 1.9 million, we're only 34% of that. That's about 700,000. Less than 3% of black men are in state and federal prison. But if you ask the average black woman, she will tell you that anywhere from 20 to 80% of black men are in jail. And the reason why is because she is a white supremacist. She believes the worst narratives about black men with absolutely no statistical data. She doesn't have to take the time to verify anything to believe something terrible about you, black man. And that is why I tell black men, listen, the best thing you can do in life is be a husband and a father. But the biggest choice you're going to make is who you pick for a wife. So do not date, marry, have sex with, have children with, or even argue with modern minded women. There are traditionally minded black women in America. You can find those women. God said, find a wife that is sure. If you find a wife, you surely found a good thing. You got to find one because they ain't walking around here. Every woman thinks she a good woman. She not. Women sit up and talk about non-traditional men wanting traditional women, and the woman got two, three kids by two, three different dudes, body count through the fucking roof, overweight, mad as fuck, combative, don't want to make sandwiches. The word submission pisses her off. And she talking about what a traditional man is or isn't and what he want or don't want, as if she's part of that fucking conversation to start. You a non-traditional woman. So don't worry about what traditional men want or don't want. Don't worry about men who are asking for traditional women. You modern than a motherfucker. Leave them alone. Go ahead and deal with Pookie and Ray Ray and your baby daddies. Now, again, that's not all black women. It's not. There are traditionally minded black women who want to be married and have kids. And guess what, black man? They don't think that you are the worst fucking thing on the planet. They don't think you're a super predator like Hillary Clinton did. They don't think that you're an animal or a roach like Joe Biden does. They don't think that about you, black man. There are good black women that understand that the vast majority of us are single and childless or married. And those are the women you should deal with. The women who believe that they out earn you, even though there's no statistical basis for that. The women who believe that you are all in jail, even though there is no statistical basis for that. The women who believe that you are all gay, even though there is no statistical basis for that. Less than 6% of black men are in the LGBTQIA spectrum. The women who believe the worst shit that has been pushed out about you in the media that has no basis in reality whatsoever. Women who believe shit that they don't even bother to look up. You ladies have opinions about shit that you sit up and argue with people about that you don't even give a fuck enough about to go and verify before you open your mouths. And it's all the worst shit ever. So, black man, if you want a fighting chance, you need a woman who doesn't think you're dog shit. You need a woman that doesn't think you're a super predator. You need a woman who don't think that you a roast infestation. You need a woman who don't think you a baby daddy just because she a baby mama. We got more women. There's twice as many women in our community than there are men who have children outside of wedlock. Twice as many. And they sitting up trying to act like that's your story, black man. And the reason that they're doing that is because if they admit that it's a small percentage of the man that they're all sharing, then they have to admit that their situation is their fault. And they don't want to do that. They need to act like it's the community or it's white supremacy or it's your fault. But they're not going to say, hey, the reason I fucked with a dude who didn't have no money is because he had some good dick. The reason I fucked with a dude who couldn't do anything for me was because I can't get a man who has his shit together because he won't tolerate me. So what they say instead is you're intimidated by my money. Ain't nobody intimidated by none of y'all money. We don't give a shit what any of y'all make because none of y'all are part of our retirement plan. No man is sitting up looking at a woman thinking that she is her retirement plan, is his retirement plan. And the type of man that is, if that's the type of man you're attracting, then you need to spend some time doing some fucking mirror work is what you need to do. But the average black man, the average man is not looking at you as a financial come up. And if that's all you can attract, that is your fucking fault. Because here's the thing, ladies. We out earn you on average. The average black man earns more than the average black woman. See, your problem is you think how much you earn has something to do with type of man you're going to attract. But men are not going to overlook the fact that you're combative, disagreeable, aggressive, got somebody else's kids, overweight, all of this bullshit because you got a check. You see, a lot of you ladies have bought into feminism, and feminism has taught you that men and women are the same. And because y'all think we the same, y'all think that our attraction triggers are the same as yours, but they're not. Whereas a woman will overlook a man who's a little bit of an asshole if he's a high earner. Y'all think that that's patriarchy. That's not patriarchy. That's your standards. When it comes to a man, we're not going to look over the fact that you're an asshole because you make good money. And so when the man looks at you being an asshole and you think he should overlook it because you earn a good paycheck and he doesn't, you think he's intimidated by you. No, he's not. He don't give a shit about your money and he's not giving you a pass on being an asshole just because you make a good check. You think that he thinks like you because you don't know shit about men. And that's why you can't keep one. You can attract one. You can attract anything if you bend over, but you can't keep one. And so a lot of you ladies have resigned yourself to the concept Yet the type of men that you want don't even exist. When the truth of the matter is you can't attract one. You can't attract one, and even if you got one, I could put the women that I watched in the comment section sitting up talking about how black women need to date down and they the only group that need to date down. Y'all want to date down. You want to date down because if you dealt with a real motherfucker, you would have to submit because I'm not going to put up with your shit because I don't need a damn thing from you. Men who have their stuff together don't need shit from you. So the attitude, fuck out of here. The extra weight, fuck out of here. The cheating, fuck out of here. The hypersexuality, the over sexualizing yourself, showing your body to everybody, dressing like a fucking harlot, having somebody else's kids when you come into the scenario. Fuck out of here. Get out of here. And so because you can't attract a commitment from the type of man you want, you ladies have just learned to pretend like they don't exist. But guess what? We exist. We just not dealing with your bullshit. That's it. We're not intimidated by you. Ain't no man intimidated by no woman. The average black woman is 5'4" and weighs 187 pounds. She makes $36,000 a year. Nobody is fucking intimidated by you. Okay? I'm not trying to diminish you by saying that. It's just a fucking fact. I'm not trying to tear you down by telling you the reality. If the reality sounds like a diss, then that's because you're out of touch. The fact that y'all sit up and spout this bullshit to everybody, trying to uplift yourself by diminishing your men, is the ugliest shit in the world. Y'all talk about divesting. Y'all say, oh, well, black men been divesting since blah, blah, blah. You know, the first case that of divesting that made it legal to interracially marry was a black woman with a white man, the Loving case. Y'all the one that's been trying to divest for over 100 years. Y'all just can't get the other groups of men to marry. You're not getting rings from them. Out of 100 women in our community that marry, 5 of them marry out. 4 of those 5 marry white men, and 1 of them is split between Arab, Asian, Indian, and all the other races. The other men are not coming over to pick you up. That's why you got these women dating fucking inmates, picking men out of prison. The reason you date down is because the men above you are not going to accept your attitude, your weight, or somebody else's kids, or your fucking obsession with social justice and patriarchy and toxic masculinity and misogyny and all of this bullshit. No man who wants a wife and a family wants to deal with that shit. Nobody wants to fucking hear it. Nobody wants to argue their way back from your worst case assumptions about men just because you grew up traumatized and then use that as an excuse to bend over for anybody who showed you some attention. Nobody wants to deal with that bullshit. So we don't. We don't. We don't. I come from a whole bunch of men who got their shit together. This weekend, I'm going over to my cousin's house. That's going to be a family reunion. That's what's happening on Saturday. On Saturday, I'm going to his house. He's one of the lead counsels for Facebook. He just got a multi-million-dollar contract. His wife is retired. He is a black man with a black wife and 2 beautiful black daughters, and they just bought a fucking mansion. And we're going over there to celebrate and have a family reunion over to his house. There are black men who are out here performing. But guess what his wife is, who is my cousin? She is submissive, cooperative, agreeable, God-fearing, modest. He's the only man she's ever been with in her entire life. She was a virgin before she met him. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. Sitting up talking all this shit about non-traditional men wanting traditional women. Who gives a fuck what a non-traditional man wants? Who gives a shit what he wants? He wants sex. That's all he wants. So why are y'all bringing him up when none of you are traditional? None of you have your shit together. If I put you in a room with the type of dudes I hang around with, the best you could do is end up with somebody shit in your neck in a car. That's the best you're going to get. You're not going to get a ring. You're not going to get a commitment. The best you could do is trap or trick one with a baby. That is it. But the moment you open your mouth and they hear how negative your opinions are of black men, none of them want to spend their time fighting their way back from your worst case white supremacist bullshit assumptions about black men. You have been eating up Tyler Perry's bullshit for the last 20 years. He has been selling you all a lie. I challenge any one of you motherfuckers that sit up and talk all this shit about black men to actually go and do the work. Look up the data. Stop talking out of your feelings. Stop talking out of your personal experience. Stop talking about your father who wasn't shit. Stop talking about your grandfather who wasn't shit. Get some information about the actual fucking community before you keep spreading lies, rumors, and bullshit about black men. That's why so many of us are leaving the country. That's why there's so many black men that are leaving the country. I got a homeboy that moved to Ghana in June. I got another homeboy that just moved to fucking the Philippines. Black men are leaving. They don't want to argue with you about any of this shit, and they're not. They're done arguing with you about this shit. So many men are sick and tired of the hatred that you have. And not all of us have children by multiple women outside of wedlock. Do you know what the numbers are? Out of 100 black men, out of 100 black men, 46 of them have children. Out of those 46 who have children, 18 of them have children outside of wedlock with women they never married. 18. Do you know why there's so many kids outside of wedlock? Because out of 100 black women, 60 of them have kids. Out of those 60, 42 of them have children outside of wedlock. They're reproducing with those 18 men. If you take an island with 100 men on it and one woman, that island will grow by one person a year because there's only one woman who can carry a child. If you put one man on an island with 200 women, that island can grow by 200 people a year. It's not a one-to-one. It's not one baby daddy to one baby mama. These men have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 baby mamas. Why are y'all not disqualifying men who already have children by women that they never married, that they don't parent and provide for? Why are you carrying a child for that man? Why are you bending over for that man? Why? And then why, when the shit goes tits up like everybody knew it was, do you lay your failures at the feet of black men in general? Why do you say we need to hold a man accountable that you are rewarding with sex and children? How can we hold a man accountable that you are fucking and having children for? You are giving him the prize. You are giving him the prize for bad behavior. And then you turn around and you look at responsible black men and act like there's something we should be doing about it. That is fucking crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And men are sick of it. So this Tyler Perry shit, I'm not surprised that he said any of it. None of it. This man spends so much time acting like a black woman. I'm not surprised he would say some misandrous, hateful, bitter baby mama shit like that. I'm not surprised at all. But before you ladies sit up and talk all this marrying down shit, go ahead and look at the numbers. The average black man out earns the average black woman. The reason y'all don't deal with men who earn more than you is because you cannot attract a man like that. You cannot obtain a commitment from him. And the reason why is because you like to drag your ass through the mud of ain't shit ninjas. If you are a woman and you plan on coming up here tonight and you have children outside of wedlock, don't. Shut the fuck up. If you are a woman and you have more than one baby daddy, shut the fuck up. If you are a woman and you have children that you birthed without getting married and then turned around and got married and you cheated on your man, shut the fuck up. If you're a woman who filed for divorce from a man who never beat on you and didn't cheat on you, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear anything women have to say who are actively participating in and creating the problem. Nobody wants to hear the shit anymore. We hate it to hear women that are actively participating in the problem, creating the issues in the community. You guys are complaining about the men you're raising. You're complaining about your own sons. The men you're complaining about are not being raised by other men. You're acting like black men are raising these fucking monsters that everybody is complaining about. They're not. You're raising them. They're your sons filling up the prison. They're your sons filling up the mental institution. They're your kids. They're not mine. Mine are in bed, ready to go to fucking school in the morning. That's where my kids are. My kids are in their beds, in their room right now, waiting to go to fucking school in the morning. That's where my kids are. They're not filling up the jail cells. They're not vaping and smoking weed and drinking lean and fucking and doing all of this crazy shit. The kids my kids are going to school with, the kids that are doing that are all from single parent homes. Every one of them. They're all from single mother homes. We're sick of playing this game where we pretend like we all can't see what the fuck is happening. Everybody can see what is happening. Everybody outside the community, everybody inside the community. And you ladies hold on to this delusion like we all can't see that the fucking sky is blue, that the water is wet, and that the level of immorality and bullshit that you ladies defend and participate in isn't fucking eating us all alive. I'm not playing this shit with y'all. I'm not. Listening to Tyler Perry say this shit, it like I said, the shit don't faze me in the slightest bit. Not in the slightest bit. I deal with men who want families, who want marriage, who want kids. And the message that all men, all responsible men, just so you ladies know, y'all may not know this, but husbands and fathers are telling young men who want to become husbands and fathers, do not date, marry, have sex with, have children with women who have modern mindsets and values about dating, marriage, family, children, any of it. Avoid them. Don't have sex with them. Don't date them. Don't argue with them. Leave them the fuck alone. We're telling them not to date you feminist, you womanist, none of them. If you are a man and you want to have a family, you want to work for a woman and love a woman for the rest of your life and raise a family with her, that's what you want to do, stay the fuck away from these women. Stay the fuck away from them. So ladies, y'all keep talking. Y'all keep doing whatever y'all want to do. Men are talking to one another, and once we hear this shit out of your mouth, you go on one or two boxes, sex only or avoid. And I tell the men to avoid you altogether because y'all don't care about having a baby nobody asked for. You don't care about killing a baby. You don't give a shit about any of it. You out here fucking and having a good time. And I tell men she'll weaponize the court system against, she'll weaponize the world against you. Look at that brick chick. She had no problem fucking blazing black men and dragging us. And the women were oh so ready to hop on that bandwagon of us being fucking monsters. And she turned out to be a lie. And damn near none of y'all said anything to recant nothing. She hustled y'all for $70,000. Don't y'all get sick of getting played, Derek Jackson? Don't y'all get sick of getting hustled, Steve Harvey? Don't y'all get sick of getting fucking hustled, Brick Lady? Don't y'all get sick of people playing with y'all emotions and manipulating you? At what point do you start listening to the responsible men who are telling you to put your fucking clothes on, close your legs, and become somebody's wife? At what point does this rebellious bullshit stop? You acting like we having some real fucking conversation or debate? This ain't a conversation. You arguing for sexual immorality, sexual deviancy, sexual promiscuity, and calling it empowerment. You acting like you guys are not fucking, the majority of y'all are witches now, worshiping crystals and natal charts and birth charts and the ancestors and sage and shit and kicking all this back to Africa shit, acting like the way we should structure our community in America should be based off of tribal, a handful of tribes in Africa and two spirit tribes here in America that never built a structure that was taller than a fucking wigwam or mud hut. Get the fuck out of here. The responsible, intelligent men of your community that want families are never going to join your matriarchy. Ever. Ever. Your ideological husband is a gay man or a white woman. It's not a black man that wants a family. It's not a black man who wants a family. It's not a provider black male. It's not. It's a gay man or a white woman. That is the person who agrees with how you see the world. That's the person who agrees with all the victim mentality, the racism, patriarchy, toxic masculinity, misogyny, homophobia, all of it. It is a gay man or a white woman. That is your husband. So I'm one of the few red pill content creators that tell black men to marry black women here in the United States. But make no mistake, you fucking social justice warriors, you chicks that are sitting up here who kick all this misandrous, hate black man bullshit, but you don't give a fuck enough to look up any of the numbers that we're using. We're not just saying our fucking opinions. We're looking up data and posting the shit. It's not just a fucking opinion. You're saying the worst shit in the world about your man without ever doing anything to look up and verify to see if anything we're saying is true. It makes no sense. You are the white supremacist. I can't find a white man to say the ugly shit about black men that I hear black women say. Abort black male babies in the womb? That's the type of time y'all on? Why? Because you can't keep Pookie's dick out your face? So you want to act like all of us on that type of time? The fuck out of here. Please. And that's why I don't even argue with y'all. I don't argue with y'all about shit. I just tell men what you sound like so they don't get tricked and they fucking avoid you like the plague. Like the plague. So, I ain't surprised that he said this stupid shit. And I ain't surprised the comment section is filled up with silly motherfuckers that believe it, that didn't take the time to verify very simply and very easily that you don't out earn us. You never have. You don't now. You're not trending that way in the future. None of it. I yield. Fuck out of here.